Country singer June Carter Cash, who died in May 2003 at the age of 73, won awards and achieved world renown. But her love for her husband Johnny Cash was more important to her, and their marriage was marked by sacrifice. It's a little-known fact that as a young woman, she studied at the famed Actors Studio in New York. As Brian Mansfield reported in USA Today, June likely could have achieved greater career success in any of several entertainment fields: singing, acting, writing. Instead, she picked a supporting role. She said, "I choose to be Mrs. Johnny Cash in my life." She said, "I decided that I'd allow him to be Moses and I'd be Moses' brother Aaron, picking up his arms and padding along right behind him." She said, "I stayed in submission to my husband and he allowed me to do anything I wanted to do. I felt like I was lucky to have that kind of romance." And Johnny responded, "She is the greatest woman I have ever known." He wrote in his 1997 autobiography, he says, "Nobody else except my mother even comes close." Ephesians 5:31 states, "For this reason a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh." This is a profound mystery. This is a profound mystery. But I'm talking about Christ and the church. Paul cited the creation story, actually from Genesis 2:24. He said, "This is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh." Ephesians 5:31 is based on Genesis 5:24, and it contains the most weighty, important declaration in the Bible concerning God's plan for marriage. Charles Price, senior pastor of People's Church in Toronto, Canada, says, "Marriage is not a Christian ordinance. It doesn't come out of the Christian gospel. Marriage is a creation ordinance. It was ordained by God as the first event after the creation of Adam and Eve. Having created Adam, he then created Eve, and the first thing he did was join them together in marriage." Notice Scripture declares that marriage consists of one man and one woman. Not one man and another man. Not one woman and another woman. Notice Scripture declares that marriage does not consist of one man and three women, or three men and one woman. The Bible speaks against polygamy. Notice Scripture speaks out against promiscuity. God has ordained marriage to be between one man and one woman, free of sexual sin. And notice the Scripture declares that marriage consists of one man and one woman, with no thought of the marriage bond being dissolved through divorce. Notice Scripture declares the profound mystery of Christ and the church that illustrates the profound mystery of man and woman united in holy marriage. Christ and his church remain one. Just as the husband is the head of the wife, so Christ is the head of the church. Just as Christ exhibited sacrificial love, so the husband should love his wife in the same fashion. Just as the church submits to Christ, in the same way a woman submits to her own husband. Just as the church has been made holy through Christ, so the marriage bond remains holy. Marriage remains a profound mystery, and some miss it. Alla Gregory, the New York Times book review columnist, shares her attitude toward marriage. She says, "My husband and I got married last fall because we wanted to have a party. I doubt our friends, our family, or anybody else we know would have been surprised if we'd ever done it at all. If we had continued living together, that'd been fine. Loving each other one day, having children, all without exchanging rings, that'd be fine. The wedding was ideal, great cake, accessible by Subway, but our life didn't change after it was over." Marriage remains a profound mystery, and Alice, you've missed it. King Henry VIII was married 6 times. Film star Elizabeth Taylor 8 times. TV actress Zsa Zsa Gabor 9 times. However, little known Glenn Scotty Wolfe would easily claim the title of the world's most married person. Starting at age 22, Wolfe married 29 times. Some marriages ended in days. Some lasted years. What fueled his yearning to move on? Those who have studied Wolf from a psychological perspective suggest that as soon as he committed to a person, he experienced varying degrees of remorse. His marriage would experience bumps in the relational road, and he'd start looking for other options. How did his life end? Though he reportedly fathered over 40 children, and many of his ex-spouses were still living, he died alone and penniless. His lifeless body, with a tattoo of a tied knot on his forearm, went unclaimed in the county morgue for months. You see, marriage remains a profound mystery, and Scotty missed it. Dr. Carl Pilmer, in 30 Lessons for Loving, cites Jeannie B., an 82-year-old widow who married her first and only husband when they were in their mid-20s, and they were sexually active through their 47 married years before his death in 2003. Jeannie explained, "There is an intimacy that comes later that is staggeringly wonderful. You can hold hands with this person you love and adore, and somehow it's just as passionate as having sex at an earlier age. There is such a sense of connection and intimacy that grows out of a long relationship. That touch carries with it the weight of so many memories, and many are sexual." She says what she misses most as a widow is simply holding hands. She says sex was certainly important and joyful and a healing part, but I'm not sure that the connection through holding hands, which elicits such peace, was not deeper intimacy. You see, marriage remains a profound mystery. And Jeannie B., she got it.